Welcome to Overcoming Substance Misuse with Sandy R. Mays. Today's episode, A Broken Mind Can't Help Fix Another Broken Mind. Sandy's goal is to help fix broken minds using a different form of influence. The kind of influence that can come from making himself available to anyone willing to open up and express a desire to stop their abusive behavior. And by sharing his successful journey of recovery, he uses positive influence with reinforced efforts to fix broken minds.
In many of the previous videos I've uploaded to this channel, I've shared the joys and satisfactions I've experienced after overcoming years of substance misuse. And even though I still face challenges, they're far less stressful and much easier to address without the added weight of addiction. Now, what I've tried to accomplish on this channel is to be an inspiration to others who are still struggling. I've committed myself to doing whatever I can to help bring awareness to the problem of substance misuse in our community, and to offer assistance in finding solutions to this rising problem. But I also want to let those who have gone through the struggle know that I would be more than happy to help them begin to rebuild and find joy in a life free from any form of abuse. Now, looking back over those many videos, I noticed that the one thing that I hadn't shared as much is the satisfaction that I get from helping others fix their brokenness. I haven't shared how much I enjoy hearing someone open up about their struggles, or how deeply I value it when someone with the desire to stop using and abusing substances finds it in them to reach out for advice on how to begin their recovery journey. That opening up and reaching out to another person is helpful when beginning the recovery process. Now, if I had to choose a positive of my years of being an illegal substance abuser, it is that I can relate to anyone struggling to overcome them. So basically, I'm using my knowledge to help someone fix an issue that they're struggling with. I'm also trying to help someone fix something inside of them that's broken by sharing how I fix my brokenness. Now, although treatment for those forms of abuse may differ, the struggle to overcome them is much the same. And in every case, the journey begins by taking that necessary step, that step of opening up and reaching out. Now, I reached out to our Creator, and by doing so, I was steered in the direction that He knew would work for me. Listening to Him gave me the willpower and determination to reach out and eventually commit to a substance treatment center. Now, my journey wasn't a smooth one, meaning there were some obstacles. Beginning in 1989, that was when I first made my official attempt to get clean. It was a 28-day program, and halfway through it, I found a way to smuggle drugs into the center. I call it official, but it wasn't a genuine effort. I only went because I had to, because it was required for me to keep my job at the time. But it was official because I actually entered into and mildly participated in a structured treatment program for the first time in my life. I even attended a few meetings after my release, but in all honesty, on the day of my discharge, I went right back to using drugs. Now, there were other times I tried to quit on my own, but those attempts came about because I had no income and I couldn't afford to sustain my habit. So I don't consider those to be official attempts. In my book, titled The Pressures of Addiction, Finding the Way Out, I write about the process it took to free myself from illegal substance abuse. And a little over a year into my recovery, I made a promise to God that I would make it my passion to help those who are struggling and those seeking to not only recover from substance misuse, but also to overcome whatever form of demonic possession or possessions they might be facing. That promise is the reason I continue to post these videos, and that's the reason that this video is on broken minds. I not only needed my broken mind to be fixed before I could help others, but to also keep the promise I made to the Almighty God over 15 years ago. Helping someone repair a broken mind. Now, how do you do that? People have broken minds or broken spirits for various reasons, and this can easily happen in our society, especially in the times we're in now. As a Christian, I believe in demonic possession. So for me, many of my physical and emotional issues began in the spiritual realm where demons roam. They can't directly act in the natural world, but demons can indirectly affect outcomes in the natural world. Now, and they do so by finding their way into our minds and influencing our actions. Now, we've all heard the phrase, the devil made me do it. But the truth is, the devil can't make us do anything. What Satan does is infiltrate the mind to influence thoughts and cause certain action. He does not have direct control over what a person does, but through manipulation of the mind, he can influence someone to commit unnatural acts. Violence and addiction are examples of an unnatural act being carried out because of a broken mind. A manipulated mind is a broken one. An abusive nature is a product of spiritual brokenness, which happens after someone's mind has been broken for a long period. Spiritual brokenness is more often a result of a profound sense of weariness and hopelessness, even when the external circumstances seem fine. It's something that can be brought on by the constant battle with addiction. Drugs are used by Satan as a way to control and influence thoughts and actions. In fact, he will use all mind-altering substances such as alcohol, sex, gambling, food, or anything he can as a potential entry port. Things that we might not pay attention to, like what we normally have called white lies, are also potential portals. When a person chooses to engage in illegal substance use, it weakens their ability to deny Satan entry into their mind. And with a sustained presence in their minds, substance use usually turns into substance misuse. Now, once a person reaches the stage of misuse, the mind has to be deprogrammed and then reprogrammed before a broken spirit can be fixed, and each process can take an extended period of time. This process often will test the limits of one's willpower, determination, and commitment. Those three things I mentioned earlier that's required to begin the recovery process. It's also important to note that it's very difficult to fix spiritual brokenness if the one suffering doesn't accept the fact that Satan exists. My goal is to help fix broken minds using a different form of influence. It's the kind of influence that can come from me making myself available to anyone willing to open up and express a desire to stop their abusive behavior, and by me sharing my successful journey of recovery. Now, I try to accomplish this through this channel by answering questions, making suggestions for treatment programs, and through both my books on recovery and abuse. This channel gives me an opportunity to offer encouragement and demonstrate how one can overcome their demons. What I try to use is what I call positive influence with reinforced efforts, meaning I want to help someone begin the process and also support them along the way. So if there's someone watching this who is struggling with substance abuse, or if you know someone struggling with abuse of any kind, please feel free to reach out to me. I can recommend a treatment program or just be a listening ear. And if there's anyone having difficulties with the recovery process, I can offer some helpful tips. And if there's anything that I can't help with, together we will find someone who can. I have included a flyer at the end of this video with information on how to find me on social media and on how to purchase my books. In the next video, I'll talk more about how a person can go about sustaining their recovery efforts. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.
Sandy would like to thank everyone who has purchased copies of his books. If you haven't, please consider doing so. You can purchase them on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart Online, and ShePublishingLLC.com. You can also email him to arrange for an autographed copy at sandymays223@gmail.com. The book titles are The Effective Use of Spiritual Tools and The Pressures of Addiction, Finding a Way Out. The first book can now be purchased for a special low price. Bundle and save. As someone who has struggled with substance misuse for many years, Sandy has developed a strategy to overcome and remain free from this disease. He's discovered that the methods he used can help anyone who is or has struggled with any form of abuse. For more information, please subscribe to his YouTube channel, Overcoming Substance Misuse, by SR Mays. Thank you for watching.